What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the show. So how would you react to this situation? Let's say you're receiving your payments from the Social Security Administration, and then years down the road, you find out that you owe $120,000 or you owe $30,000 back to the Social Security Administration, and they're telling you that they need to collect it within 30 days. How would you respond to that? I'm going to show you guys a clip today, and that's what's going on. And we're going to talk about this because this is a serious problem. And this is the Social Security Administration making mistakes, and then you have to pay for it on the back end, which I think is ridiculous. So we're going to talk about that in this video. But first off, if you guys can do me a favor, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that little bell notification, and then click all. By clicking all, you get notified anytime we post a video. We do daily videos, so by clicking the bell notification and clicking all, you should be getting updated every day. And just a reminder, thank you for your support. I really appreciate it. And if you'd like to follow me on Twitter and Threads, you can at the TEC Show Live. You can also follow my travel adventures on Instagram at Travel Explore Click. Okay, so you guys could probably hear that my voice has changed and my nose is a little stuffy right now, and that is because I caught a cold. So the last few days I've been sick, and so I feel much better now, and so that's why I'm shooting this video. I hate when I'm traveling and I get sick because I'm out of my element, and so I have to go to the pharmacy and get little things, and it's not the same. And so you go to the pharmacy out here in Colombia, it's not the same as the pharmacies in the U.S., and they don't have the same products and NyQuil and things like that. They have different things, and so it becomes a struggle to do that. But I'm fine now, and you know, I'm coming off of it, so tomorrow I'll be fine. But I want to talk a little bit about this thing that's going on with the Social Security Administration because I think this is just a tragedy. And so I'm going to play this clip, and then we're going to come back and we're going to talk about it. Here we go.
Now to a warning to anyone who receives Social Security benefits. Some recipients are receiving letters from the government demanding they give money back from overpayments, even if it wasn't their fault. Our chief business correspondent, Rebecca Jarvis, is here now with more on an investigation which first aired on our ABC affiliates, WSB, WFTV, and WSOC. They have been on top of this. Good morning, Rebecca.
They have. Good morning to you, Robin. It's nice to see you. And we are talking about billions of dollars the government has overpaid in Social Security benefits. And as you're about to hear, people who get these notices can owe thousands of dollars, even if they didn't make any mistakes. This morning, a new warning for hundreds of thousands of Americans who receive Social Security checks. The government sending surprise bills to some people demanding money back it says it overpaid.
I went to my mailbox and a letter from Social Security, and it was a demand letter for $121,000 payable in 30 days.
70.6 million people receive benefits from the Social Security Administration. According to the Inspector General's office, more than $21 billion in overpayments were not recovered last year. And Uncle Sam wants it back.
I'm so scared. I'm going to lose everything.
Meet Lori, a former Postal Service employee who's received about $900 a month from Social Security since 2001. But the federal government wants over $120,000 back. The Cox Media Group station's investigative teams, which include ABC affiliates WSB, WFTV, and WSOC, along with KFF Health News, first reported on incidents like Lori's, who says she had to sell her house to cover the balance.
There's not one person who I've shared this story with believes that they could do that.
Former police officer Matt Cooper, who was shot in 2018 while on duty, and his wife Kristen rely on Social Security and workers' compensation payments.
It's hard to actually heal and get better when you're constantly having to revisit the worst day of your life.
But the couple received a letter demanding they pay back $30,000 because they say the agency failed to correctly factor in Matt's workers' compensation.
The system has definitely let us down.
The Coopers were denied an appeal, even though this was a government mistake. The SSA telling our affiliate WSB they're required by law to recover these payments. And while staffing and resource constraints have challenged our service delivery, our payment accuracy rates remain high.
People are going back and taking a second look and redoing the numbers and finding that, in fact, people do owe money back to the government. And now it's causing a bigger problem for a lot of individuals.
It can be a giant problem. Now, if you receive a message like this and you believe an overpayment wasn't your fault, the claim is unfair, or that paying that money back will cause you hardship, you should immediately reach out to the SSA to appeal that decision. They can at times waive repayment, or you can negotiate a repayment plan that doesn't put you under undue stress. Lindsay.
Yeah, devastating. Can't believe that one woman had to actually sell her
Unbelievable.
home. Rebecca, thank you.
Okay, so what do you guys think about that? That's really a tragedy, especially the woman that had to end up selling her house. I mean, it's just crazy that the Social Security Administration is making these errors. And let's look at it. $21 billion in 2022 alone. Unrecovered money, $21 billion. That is a whole lot of money. And so the Social Security Administration, whoever's doing the calculations, they're not doing a good job. And they're not suffering any consequence from this. And that's what I really don't like when it comes to the Social Security Administration, when it comes to any government agency. They should be suffering consequences for making these huge mistakes, and the people should not have to pay it back. Because this is on the Social Security Administration. It's not like you're trying to cheat them. They're actually making mistakes and then coming back and saying, oh, you know what, we made a mistake. Sorry, you're going to have to pay us $30,000, or you're going to have to pay us $120,000. And that can devastate people. Just imagine, you've been collecting, like the lady's been collecting since 2001, and now she's in a situation where she owes $120,000, she has 30 days to pay it, so she ends up having to sell her house. That is ridiculous. It's really sad. And then you had the police officer, similar situation where they were giving him money, he was also getting workman's comp, but they should have calculated it right, they didn't calculate it right, and so now he owes $30,000. So it's a tragedy. It really is. And what I really don't like about this situation is it doesn't encourage the Social Security Administration to get it right the first time, because they can always say, oh, you know what? Sorry, we made a mistake, so we're gonna pull that money back. They should be getting it right the first time. That's not how companies are run. I mean, there was a situation, and I'll talk about this story, and then I'm just going to leave this alone. But it really, really bothers me when I hear this stuff coming out. We were talking. I just did a video 7-8 months ago talking about North Carolina and how they did this gentleman wrong and said he owed money and he ended up having to pay it back. He ended up having, at 80, he had to go back to work in order to pay it off. And he wasn't able to pay it all off before he passed away. And when he passed away, they took $10,000 of his burial costs. It's crazy how the government works. It really is. Now, this is North Carolina, so I think it was a city government in this situation, but this is the federal government doing the very same thing. So when it comes to companies, let's talk a little bit about this, because this is how it should work. There was a situation, this was about 8 years ago, and I was on Twitter and I was thinking about traveling somewhere, and I saw some information that was saying that the Hyatt Regency in Paris was showing rooms for $21 a night. And the Hyatt Regency is a very, very nice hotel. And so I saw that, and so I went ahead and went over to their website. Sure enough, it was $21 a night. And so I booked 5 nights. And I knew it was a mistake because, come on, $21 a night, that just doesn't sound right. In the Hyatt Regency in Paris, that doesn't sound right. So I went ahead and booked it. And then I went on some of the travel blogs, and I was able to see that some other people were able to book it as well and get the confirmation number and all that. So long story short, I waited. I didn't do anything, so I booked it. I got the confirmation number, and as long as I had the confirmation number, I was thinking, okay, I should have a room. And so I waited about a week and a half. I got an email in a week and a half, and they laid out the whole problem. They said, look, we're sorry. We had a glitch in our system, and it was showing rooms for $21 a night when the rooms were really $600 a night. And so I'm thinking, okay, well, they're probably going to tell me that I have to pay the additional money if I want to stay there. But that's not what they said. They said, we made the mistake, so we're going to honor your booking. And so I was able, it cost me $114 for 5 nights at the Hyatt Regency in Paris. And it should have cost me about $3,000, a little over $3,000 to book that whole thing. But they didn't come after me for $3,000. They just said, you know what, we made the mistake, and so we're going to go ahead and honor that. That's the right way to fix a problem. But what the federal government's doing, they're just saying, hey, we're trying to get it right. If we get it wrong, then you're just going to have to owe us this money back. That's not the way to go. They should be on it. They should know exactly. They should be doing these calculations. How are they catching these calculations later down the road? Why couldn't they caught it a lot earlier? So the only thing that I can say, and I want to know if you guys do get a letter, let me know. Send me an email. I'll have my email right here. let me know if you get one of these letters, and I'll do a video on it. I'll keep it confidential, so I won't put your name on there or anything. But I want to know how many of these letters are actually sending out. How many mistakes are they actually making? Because $21 billion is a whole lot of money. So I want to know who else owes money, and we'll look into it. But what they were saying is you can file an appeal, and that doesn't mean you're going to get it. The police officer he filed an appeal, and he didn't get his appeal, so he still owes that $30,000. But you can file an appeal, you can use that process, but this is something that the federal government should not be doing. They should not be taking money back from people after they issue the money out, because it's the federal government who's making the mistake. If they're making the mistake, they need to honor that mistake. So I want to know what you guys think about this, so let me know down below. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe for more, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye.